nature came as I grew up on the farm. You see the rabbits, the squirrels, the birds, the deer, the turkeys, and the way things work in nature without humans being involved. It's a closed cycle. It's so beautiful. There's a saying that goes like this. Nothing in nature is given. It is won. It's just the opposite.
This is a topic that I'd never heard of before, and I appreciate how informative it was. I also love this focus on the rancher. By listening to him talk about how much he loves what he does, it creates a really intimate story, and it allows the audience to connect with a topic that can be kind of boring, like they're talking about soil, but connect with it in a very real way. I love how they start with this focus on nature, because it goes a long way in establishing this new kind of ranching as something that's very natural, that just makes sense because it's good for the earth, it's good for the animals, it's good for people too. And overall, I thought this was a great film.
I've heard of a regenerative rancher before. This was fascinating to me. I loved learning about this type of farming. I loved the way it was shot. Beautiful cinematography, really great direction, excellent editing. Clearly, the person running the show there asked the right questions, because this rancher really delved into the details of the purpose of his life, and it's fascinating. I learned so much, and thank you for making this. It's a really, really interesting film, and it's beautifully done. So it's really well edited and directed and shot. The cinematography in this is really gorgeous. From the close-ups to the overheads, it's just fantastic. So congratulations, beautiful work.
A great documentary short that takes a traditional approach to documentary, which I found to be very interesting. The footage matches up very nicely with the voiceover, and it's cut together in a way that's pleasing and also attention grabbing and engaging. It's also very informative. I didn't know what a regenerative farmer was before I watched this short, but now I feel like I have a good general understanding of what that is, and it's piqued my interest to learning about that specific industry a bit more.
This was really, really well done. I really liked that they connected well the actual farm that they were like working with and like working on and devoting so much time and love to with what they were educating about. I thought that they paired those two things really well together, because a lot of the times I think when we think of farming and we think of like cows and things like that, we have a very, very set image in our head due to like media and books and movies and things like that, of like what we're told that looks like, what we're told, to expect out of that. And so I think that pairing the differences in how you could be like regenerative and green about it and make, a difference and have it be like a really thriving, like symbiotic like system, I think they paired that together really, really well.
There were a couple shots in a food story that I found to be particularly effective. One of those was the boot spreading the manure across the grass. I thought visually conveyed the idea of regenerative farming very well. I also liked the shots that were more abstract of the cow's hair used during the moment where we were talking about the energy that the cows have about them. I thought that the film overall came at the idea of regenerative farming from a place that was emotional and chose to inspire people to learn more about regenerative farming and call them to action through this particular farmer and the portrait of him and the story of his motivation for making the choice to go with regenerative farming, as opposed to the film taking the path of using more factual jargon to describe how regenerative farming works. So I think that the way that they chose to talk about this type of farming was effective.
This one was a really compelling short film, and it's kind of not like silly, but it's like poop related, and it can be seen as gross, but I think that the filmmaker and the subject, like the main guy, the protagonist or whatever, he did a great job at kind of grounding it and bringing everything in to the context of the environment and why it's important, and I think it was shot really well. I love the sound mixing and the sound editing. I think everything just felt very cohesive and like gelled really well. I think the pacing was strong, and just solid little short.